Hey everyone, we need to talk about the what if spiral. The what if questions. Man, those, in my opinion, those are the most paralyzing questions that parents can hear and encounter and ask themselves. And I'm not actually just talking about the fear-inducing ones about what if this happened in the future? What if something happened to me or my child or my spouse? Those are terrifying. Those are terrible. Those are god-awful. Those I feel in my body. Like I get cold sweats, panic, my heart starts going, I feel sick to my stomach. But the questions that give me all of that and more are the ones looking at the past. What if I'd done something different? What if I hadn't looked away? What if we'd left on time? What if I hadn't yelled at him? What if I'd done something different? What if I'd just been better? I get all of those same physical feelings, but it's way worse because as bad as fear is, shame and guilt are way more paralyzing. They just steal all of our power. I relate it to being in the woods on a mountain hike and running into a bear or a mountain lion. You run into this thing that is bigger than you, that can swallow you whole, that can end you and your life as you know it. That's what those shame and doubt questions can do to us, because it's not just agonizing over a potential mistake you made, because that's what most of them are. They're just mistakes. They're human errors. They're things you did doing the best you could at the time. They weren't bad, terrible things. But the shame and the guilt and the what if, they make us question our identity, right? It goes so much deeper than the mistake. It goes into the big, bold questions of, am I a good parent? Am I an irresponsible mom? Am I a bad mom? I gotta tell you, there's literally nothing that could be a worse question for me and my identity, because so wonderful and great as my life is, there's only one thing I've ever known my whole life that I wanted, and that was to be a parent. It's the only part of my identity that's been consistent. Everything else about my identity has changed and evolved, and my parenthood has definitely changed, but the idea of not being a good mom, that question can do more damage to me than any other question ever could. Now here's the thing. We can feel so terrible when we encounter these things, but often we know how terrible they are, so we don't let ourselves. We do something else instead. We try to run away with them, we try to run away from them, try to get bigger and stronger than them. A lot of times we'll go to anger, right? We start blaming the situation or people or things around us, maybe even the system at large. And there's a lot of truth to those situations, because there are a lot of things that contribute to why things end up sucking or going poorly. And that's okay. But the reason we're doing that is because we feel more powerful when we're angry, when we're mad about something. It's just like, it's actually the advice you're given for when you do encounter a black bear or a mountain lion. You get big, you yell, you scream, you make yourself loud and ferocious, and you scare it off. So that's what we try to do for those other things that seem so dangerous. The problem is, it works in the moment, but who's to say that that feeling's not going to be waiting for you around the corner, farther down along the trail, ready to get you, ready to pounce. You cannot just run away from those feelings. You can't yell at them, stop, don't think that. You can't just get yourself to do that. Same as you can't tell a child to stop feeling their emotions, to stop doing a certain thing. You can't just make it stop. You have to honor it. You have to address it. You have to hear it out. So let's think about this in two ways, or two steps, I should say. One, why is this happening? Why are these emotions coming up? Fear and shame and guilt and doubt. They're not ill-meaning. They're not trying to get you. They're actually trying to help. They're trying to protect you. They're trying to create a better situation in the future. They're trying to look out for you. They want to pinpoint what could have gone wrong that I can control in the future. Or they're advocating for an injustice that you're experiencing, and they want to help. So just like when our kids are trying to sincerely tell us what is bothering them, what's wrong, we have to listen to our emotions. When fear and shame come up, we have to hear them out. What's bothering you? What is it you want me to hear and say? And just like a young child or even an older child or an adult who finally gets to let out what's bothering them, there's this wave of relief, this instantaneous like, oh, I got that out. And then you can actually do some reasoning. Then you can do some problem solving. And this is where you can use your parent wisdom, because you can say to yourself, fear, I get it. You were really concerned about this. But then you employ step 2, and that's writing a new counter script. Instead of the what if, that had us so scared we ran away, instead we face it and say, I get it. But here's the truth. I made the best decision I could in that moment. I actually did do the best thing I could do. I couldn't know what was going to happen. I could only do so much because perfect was never an option. I could only do what I was capable of doing at that time. So instead of letting fear and shame and doubt question your competency, your value, your worth, your intelligence, your goodness, take that opportunity to recognize I did the best I could, and mistakes happen, and it does not make me a bad parent. I am a good parent doing the very best that I can. These aren't fake affirmations. These aren't just fluffing up. This is sitting yourself down, looking yourself in the eye and saying, this is what's really true. I know that all those emotions try to tell us otherwise, but this is what's true, that we are doing a good job and that you probably did the very best you could in a bad situation. Okay? So I'd love to hear from y'all this week. What are some of the what ifs coming up for you, and what are the counter scripts that you could give yourself so that you don't have that deep, dark, sinking feeling, so you don't feel consumed or eaten up by the bear or mountain lion? All right? When we're willing to do this, oh, it's freedom, y'all. It's freedom from what is genuinely one of the worst feelings we can feel as parents. So let me know, what counter script can you give yourself?